Hey guys, I've owned pickup trucks, I've owned 1-ton big Econoline vans, I've owned minivans. I'm a homeowner. I go to the big box home improvement stores all the time to get things. And I stopped owning trucks and vans a long time ago and bought myself a lightweight aluminum trailer and an electric car. And I have never looked back. I want to share why I think this is a better combination than owning a truck. Welcome to Urban Monk TV. Okay guys, I'm like you. I grew up in North Dakota. I lived in the Midwest for 46 years of my life. I grew up with trucks. I've owned a Ford F-150. I've owned an Econoline 1-ton van at one point. I owned a Dodge van. I've owned minivans. I've really kind of run the gamut, and I've had careers and industry where I've hauled trailers and hauled loads frequently, but almost 8 years ago I moved from the Midwest to the West Coast, and hey, gasoline prices have been going up everywhere, including the Midwest, in that amount of time. But I really did experience some serious sticker shock at the gas pump when I made that move to the coast. And a lot of people are paying more for gas today than they used to. I got rid of the truck in my life, and am I worried about losing the ability to move and haul things? Not at all. I want to talk about some of the things I was asking myself at the time I made that move and was purchasing a new vehicle. Because it's really in that moment, the purchase decision, that we can make a really bad choice if we're not thinking the right way. And I look back on it and I'm so glad I made the choice the way I did. At the time I owned a minivan, and it was serving me very well. I liked minivan life, and I had pickup trucks and bigger vans before that, as I mentioned. But what I thought about is, how often do I really haul something? And how often am I driving by myself? You know, those two considerations. And then when I do haul something, how big is it really? How heavy is it really? All three of those things went through my mind. What I ended up with was a lightweight aluminum trailer with a small electric car, and I've never looked back. If you want to see a video on why I think this is the best trailer for an electric vehicle, you can watch that here. So then I got to thinking, well, you know, if I'm having this experience, I can't be the only one, right? And I found an automotive industry research and consulting firm and got some really interesting data from them. First thing I learned is the absolute best-selling vehicles in America, so all vehicles, best sellers are, in this order, Ford F-150, Chevy Silverado, Dodge Ram 1500. Over sedans, over luxury vehicles, over everything. In America, those are the best-selling vehicles. So they're selling a lot of them. The other thing I learned is that 80% of truck owners, so that was me at one point, will buy another one. So the loyalty there is extremely strong. You know, it rivals toothpaste brands or cigarettes back in the day, right? Like, we have our brand and we don't shift. I'm a truck guy, I'm not shifting. That's kind of the mentality that's obviously playing out in the world. Well, in America. So I said, are other people like me? How many people, I mean, maybe there's guys that are just towing more often than me and hauling loads more often than me. So I looked at the data from this research group. 75% of truck owners use their truck for towing one time per year or less than once a year. That's reality. I'm not making the numbers up. 70% of truck owners in America take their truck off-road one time per year or less. And 35% of truck owners haul something, meaning put something in the bed of their vehicle one time per year or less. 35% of them. So the reality is that most truck owners, and I look back at my own history and this was the case, we daily drive these big, heavy, massive vehicles. You know, we're kind of duped into thinking that it's rational and normal to daily drive a 5,500 pound vehicle. And laws of physics, if we're moving 5,500 pounds around, we're definitely using more energy. And more energy, if you're talking about gasoline, means more pollution and climate change problems, right? Or it also means more money. You know, the gas subsidies that have occurred in our country for a long time have made it seem like that's a rational decision, but truth is, it's just not when you think about the physics, and I came to realize that. So then I thought about, well, what about hauling and towing capacity? Again, I've got that video, it's in the description below, on the best trailer for an electric vehicle. But real quickly, just talking about the capacity within the truck bed versus the capacity of a trailer. My trailer is just a simple aluminum lightweight 4x8 that you can put sides up if you like. I don't, and here's why. But a short box pickup truck has a volume capacity of 62.9 cubic feet, a standard pickup bed 71.7 cubic feet, and a long bed, which they don't sell a lot of long beds, frankly, except to people in the trades who aren't daily driving them, they're working, right? These people need trucks. I don't have that kind of job anymore. Those hold 89.1 cubic feet. Well, my little 4x8 trailer, if I put the sides up 3 feet high, which is higher than a truck bed, right? And I can take those sides on and off as needed, which I can't do with a truck or a van. So I'm constricted with those vehicles. With this, I'm not with that constriction. I have the option. But if I put a 3-foot side to that 4x8, I've got 96 cubic feet of capacity. So I can beat a pickup truck in total capacity that way. The other thing is this trailer is a half-ton trailer, and most trucks are half-ton trucks. So that's another thing I asked myself, how often do I haul 1,000 pounds? Can't think of a time ever. The heaviest thing I ever hauled was a big block. It was a 425 cubic inch Buick engine, a 1965 Wildcat engine, full long block, heads on it, everything. That still did not approach 1,000 pounds. I could have put that on this trailer, frankly. So here's the other thing that we got to consider. I looked into the cost of my trailer versus the cost of owning a pickup truck and my electric car, right? So here's the thing I'm not giving up. I never gave up the ability to haul loads when I need them. If for some weird chance I have a load that is just too much, like more than a half ton, and I'm still waiting for that day to happen, I'm 54 years old, then I can rent a truck for a day or a weekend, whatever I gotta do, right? Like, what would that cost me versus owning a truck that can do that every day of my life and daily commuting it? Here's the numbers. I took a look at just my vehicle. In 2016, I bought, and by the way, this comparison is a used vehicle comparison. Believe me, if you're looking at new vehicle comparison, this gets even worse. But rational thinking, right? Like, this is all about thinking rationally. Buying a new vehicle isn't always a very rational choice, frankly. Maybe that's a whole nother video. But I bought a 2013 Chevy Volt in 2016 with low miles on it. Had I purchased a pickup truck same year, and I just picked, because I have a Chevy electric car, I said, well, let's just pick the Chevy pickup truck. Today, my Chevy electric car sells for $7,683 according to the big online car value provider. I won't name them here. I think you probably know which one I'm talking about. A 2013 half-ton standard cab Chevy Silverado goes for $14,978. So the difference in acquisition cost of those two vehicles is $7,295. Cha-ching savings, $7,295. And I can just put that in my pocket, right? And I haven't given up my ability to get around, and I haven't given up my ability to haul things. I'm not even talking about the savings at the gas pump, which my Chevy Volt sees a gas station like once a month at the most. It's incredible. I love this car. I'm going to leave the gas savings out of this. Then I looked at what is it to insure my vehicle versus insuring that same thing in a pickup truck same year, you know, that same comparison. The delta between insuring one versus the other is $1,000 a year. So that's another $1,000 in my pocket. But if you really think about it, because I tend to think this way, is what's the value of that money? Like, money has earning potential. If I took the savings between my electric car and the pickup truck that I didn't buy at that day, and I look back at the S&P index over that period of time, 2016 to today, that market adjusted for inflation, and you could make the argument that you wouldn't want to do that for this, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that. You know, it made 13.84% straight up, but adjusted for inflation, 10.23% per year. So if I take that delta, the savings, which was what, $7,295, and $1,000 a year in insurance savings, and I just invested it like a dummy into the S&P index fund, the value of that would be $27,171. So in reality, to me, that is the cost of owning a pickup truck versus the scenario I have. And I haven't given up any ability to move things around, to haul things, to live my life the way I like to live it. I've also enjoyed the fact that when I drive around, I'm not polluting in the same way. Now, I understand that even electric cars do have a carbon footprint. I happen to have solar panels on my roof, and I choose to charge during the day. So I try to minimize that as much as I can. But pickup trucks versus electric cars, there's just no comparison in the pollution level, and you'll never get that carbon footprint to ever come close. So it's still a huge win going the electric way, and I feel good about that. I have young children who are passionate about climate change, who want to see a different world, and I'm showing them how I can live my kind of old guy life in a way that still considers the impact on the world they're going to inherit. So I love it. That's it. I'm probably never going to own a pickup truck ever again in my life, and I'm perfectly happy with that. The trailer, it doesn't take up much space. In fact, how much space does a pickup truck take up? You got to park it somewhere, right? Fills up the garage. My trailer, I can keep it outside, and it folds up nice, tucks out of the way. The footprint of this thing is nothing compared to the size of a pickup truck. And then my little electric car, I mean, I live in a city where parking is hard. I watch guys say, you gotta back up and reposition and go in and out of a spot 3 times before they can, you know, shoehorn that thing into a parking spot, and I just zip in with my little car. So many times I'm happy I have a smaller vehicle. So That's it, guys. Hey, if you like motorcycling, and I do, check out my book, Creating Mr. Corton. It's the memoir of the build of a cafe racer, start to finish. And if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe if you want to become an urban monk. Thanks for watching.